Good evening. To the proud parents, grandparents, relatives, and friends of the class of 2018, I am Pete Murphy, principal of Gateway High School. On behalf of the Board of School Directors, the faculty, the administration of the Gateway School District, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 60th commencement exercise at Gateway High School. We are pleased to have you with us tonight for this important event. We will begin our program with the graduating class of 2018 entering the stadium, marching to the traditional musical selection of Pomp and Circumstance, played by the Gateway High School Band under the direction of Mr. James Helton. Would you please stand for the class procession? attack mode and lead us in the singing of our national anthem. Please rise.
Oh, say, can you see God's early light was so early at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad skies and bright stars perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched, was so gallantly streaming. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of
The president of our senior class, Dylan Baxter, will now lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please join me in the salute to the American flag of the United States. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation.
The president of our senior class, Dylan Baxter, is an individual who leads by example. Dylan will graduate this evening from Gateway High School with high honors and GPA of 3.6. Amazingly, Dylan has been the class president for the graduating class of 2018 since freshman year. During his 4-year term as president, he has organized, supported, and led numerous projects and initiatives that have served the community as well as Gateway High School. One of Dylan's greatest strengths is his passion for what he believes in. his classmates thought would make our school better. Dylan will be attending Duquesne University in the fall, where he has already been accepted into the Forensic Science and Law Master's Program. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Dylan Baxter.
Good evening. It is my distinct honor to welcome everyone to Gateway Senior High School's Class of 2018 commencement ceremony. Parents, siblings, teachers, administrators, coaches, friends, and family, thank you for joining us tonight to mark one of the most momentous occasions in our lives. Before I begin, I would like to thank my mom and dad and everything that they have done for me. Without their love and support, this would not have turned out this way. Well, Class of 2018, we did it. After 13 years of hard work, dedication, and preparation, we are finally ready to finish this fantastic chapter of our lives and begin a new story. We all have a blank slate now, and a story to tell, a story worth telling. Every graduate whom I have the privilege of standing here with this evening has an incredible life in him or her, and starting tonight, that new life begins. Before we take our next steps, though, which are certainly some big ones, it is important to look back at where we've been, for oftentimes in life, this reflection may help us to safely get where we're going. More so than ever, this year we can confidently say that no one beats a Gator when it comes to our athletic accolades. Proudly, the following teams at GHS have made it to some level of the WIPIO playoffs this year: girls volleyball, boys track, baseball, softball, and boys basketball. Our girls basketball team made it farther than they ever have in the history of Gateway to win the WIPIO championships and advance to the state playoffs. After winning yet another WIPIO championship, our football team made the trying journey to secure the number 2 spot in Pennsylvania and the PEIAA state championship in Hershey. The future also looks bright for Gateway Athletics, thanks to sophomore swimmer Olivia Livingston. Olivia broke her own record in the Pennsylvania State Championships in the 50-yard freestyle to become a 2-time state champion. This class has also done more than its fair share of fundraising, from hosting 4 blood drives over the year with a central blood bank, to organizing the annual St. Barnabas Presents for Patients event during the holiday season that sends gifts to children who are in need of some goodwill and normalcy as they fight against incredible odds. Additionally, this year, members of the senior class helped to organize one of the biggest fundraisers in the history of Gateway. With the help of the entire district, we were able to raise over $5,000 to donate to Dickinson High School in Dickinson, Texas. This school, also the Gators, was devastated by Hurricane Harvey, and because of the kindness and dedication of this class, we were able to help out in our own small way as they began to rebuild their school and their lives. This class is also very special because of its academic ability. Over 50% of the graduating class has achieved some form of honor roll, an accomplishment which will certainly serve us well as we go on to attend 48 different colleges, universities, and trade schools across the country. We also have students entering the United States Army, Marines, Navy, and Air Force, all of which is a testament to how dedicated and diligent this group is. It is important to remember, though, that we did not get here alone. We have always had our friends, teachers, principals, counselors, and families to help guide us and help us learn from our mistakes and grow. Thanks to everyone here, we are ready to take on the world. True, the real world will not be easy, but nothing to this point ever has been. We have all been challenged time and time again, and here we sit, proving that we had the courage, wisdom, knowledge, and skills to tackle these challenges head-on without fear. Yes, we may have faltered along the way, but it was all worth it to make it to this point. We are the 60th group of students to graduate from Gateway High School. We are part of a tradition that transcends decades, centuries, and millennia. We were blessed with the opportunity to receive an education that most only dream of, and because of this, we can now go on to realize our dreams. I hope that we all can follow our own stars and chase the dreams that we have been dreaming since we were young. Not everyone everywhere can achieve his or her dreams, but the students here can. No matter our backgrounds, or grades, or what clubs we were in, we are all starting over now, equal in every way. All of our diplomas will say the same thing: Gateway Senior High School graduate. It is what we now do with these diplomas that will define us. And while we will be all heading down our own paths after tonight, we're happy and making ourselves proud and our lives proud. No doubt, there will be more challenges along the way and problems that we can't even begin to imagine. But we can use what we have learned here to face any challenge that may come our way. This year especially has held many unique challenges, from deciding big things like what to do after high school to little things like what the prom theme should be. I would like to say that the hard part is over, but I would be lying. This is where the real challenge begins. As these real challenges begin to emerge, we all need to keep something in mind. We have to be willing to stand up for ourselves and not let anyone tell us how to live our lives or that our voices don't matter. We have the education, the strength, and the support to get through anything. In the end, our goal should not be to get the best job or to make the most money. Our goal should be to be happy and make a fulfilling life for ourselves. Lives that we are proud, humble, and loved. In the coming days, weeks, months, and years, we will be getting a plethora of advice from many different people in our lives. But I think the most important life that we ever received came from our childhood, and our favorite characters said it best. So defy gravity. Let it go. Never look back because it distracts from the now. Believe in magic. Never grow up. Have a friend in someone. Go to infinity and beyond. Just keep swimming. Go the distance. Be brave. And most importantly, remember that dreams do come true.
Gateway High School is fortunate to have two salutatorians for the senior class of 2018. These individuals are Olivia Miller and John Paul Kromka. Both will be graduating this evening with a 4.3 GPA. The first of our two salutatorians is Olivia Miller. Olivia is an individual that embodies hard work and determination in all that she does. She is a distinguished scholar, ultra-competitive athlete, and one of the kindest and happiest students that I have ever had the privilege of knowing. A funny story about Olivia: a few months ago, she was in her AP Physics C class course working on differential equations that were pertaining to force, definitely some complex material. Olivia, at one point during the lesson, stated to Mr. Campbell, "Who in the world is able to solve these types of problems?" all while keeping a smile on her face. Without hesitation, Mr. Campbell stated to her, "Isaac Newton, Galileo, and your brother." The last comment was all Olivia needed to hear to dig in and push herself even harder than she already had. This drive that burns in Olivia has carried over outside of the classroom as well. Every week, Olivia balances a class load of all honors and AP level courses with training to be one of our nation's finest gymnasts. In May, Olivia competed in the United States Junior Olympics National Gymnastics Championships in Cincinnati, Ohio, where she placed 10th in the nation in the all-around competition. Olivia has accepted a full scholarship to the University of Pittsburgh, where she will compete for the Lady Panthers in gymnastics while she begins preparation for her career as a physician. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Miss Olivia Miller.
"31 years ago, my mom, Kimberly Miller,
stood on a podium at Syria Mosque as the Carrick High School Valedictorian of the class of 1987, and said, "Nothing great was ever achieved without enthusiasm." This famous quote by Ralph Waldo Emerson is as true today as it was 31 years ago. And as we, the class of 2018, sit in these chairs and eagerly await probably one of the most coveted moments in our lifetime, we need to now take the time to enjoy the experience. All our years of hard work have led up to this exact moment. And congratulations, everybody. The time has come. And we are about to receive our diplomas and flip over to this next chapter in our lives. And let us not forget our roots here at Gateway. Just look around you. How many of these classmates have you known for at least high school? How about since elementary school? All of us have one thing in common, and that is our beginnings. Although many of us will be taking different directions in our postgraduate plans, we all will have our Monroeville or Pitcairn community to call home. Not only did Gateway foster our knowledge, but it also served as the gateway to the rest of our education. Our education, however, does not stop here. Whether you attend a trade school, enter the workforce, honorably enlist in the military, take some time off to find your way in the world, or move into college, your education will continue to flourish and, with the right attitude, will do so with enthusiasm. Whatever you learn it with passion and determination, for we all know that life can bring some exciting opportunities for those who seek wonder and adventure. Everyone knows the cheesy quote, "You learn something new every day." But think about it. We really do. We all know that a red arrow is just a red light that for some reason decides to be an arrow, that it will take all summer to repave Monroeville Boulevard, and that the walk from the student parking lot will never get shorter on those blistering cold mornings. Knowledge comes in many different forms, and for the rest of our lives, we will continue to add to our already overflowing pile. As we say our temporary goodbyes to our gateway home away from home, we will continue to better ourselves as citizens and functional members of society, thanks in large part to the foundation that we developed during these first 18 years of our lives in the greater Pittsburgh area. Over these past 13 years of our formal education, we have all witnessed growth amongst each other, and we have grown into young ladies and gentlemen who have the power to make an impact on this world. Through encouragement and enthusiasm, every single one of us have learned the valuable life lessons that will help to guide us through the rest of our lives, and we have each other to thank. In third grade, when one of our classmates went through a rough time, we were there, as a class, to help her out. In high school, when one of our classmates was diagnosed with cancer, we were there to help support him and lift his spirits. Just think of all the amazing things that we have done together to help one another. Not only do we celebrate our individual achievement as becoming an official Gateway High School graduate, but also we celebrate our collective achievement as a class for helping one another to get to this exact moment. As the 60th class to receive diplomas and be released into the world as intelligent, wide-eyed young adults, we are ready to conquer the challenges that life may throw us. Whether it be having an interview for CEO or finding parking in the South Side, we are ready for anything that may come our way. We have all experienced disappointments and obstacles at some point in our lives, yet we have overcome them and have probably been molded into a different person because of them. A stumble in the path does not mean a failure. It only means an adaptation, and an adaptation builds character. As young adults living in the 21st century, we must learn to embrace change in a positive manner that will allow us to have a more optimistic outlook on life. Growing up, one of my personal mottos was to accept the things you cannot change the things you can, and gain the wisdom to know the difference. Throughout my lifetime, faith, enthusiasm, and positivity have allowed me to become the best that I can be. And I think that anyone with a little positivity and enthusiasm can make the best of anything. So, whatever you do, do it with passion, excitement, and positivity. For, as Ralph Waldo Emerson and my mom said, you can do anything with a little enthusiasm.
Our second salutatorian is John Paul Kromka. Throughout his high school career, John Paul has also maintained a rigorous class schedule, taking many of the most difficult courses at Gateway High School while simultaneously excelling at 2 sports. He is a 4-year starter on the basketball team, was named captain his junior and senior years, and is one of the few Gators in history to score more than 1,000 points in his career. He was recently recognized as one of only 10 male scholar athletes for the 2007 and 18 school year by the WPIAL. To me, all of the academic and athletic accomplishments take a back seat to the person that John Paul has become. He is a humble, hardworking, kind leader who always does the right thing. He comes from amazing parents who have raised a remarkable son, and he will be greatly missed by the faculty and his coaches. This fall, John Paul will attend the University of Pittsburgh-Johnstown on a full athletic scholarship where he will play basketball for the Panthers and plans to major in mechanical engineering. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce to you John Paul Kromka.
Good evening to all the families, friends, classmates, teachers, coaches, counselors, administrators, and everyone in between. Thank you for coming out to celebrate and enjoy this great milestone. Undoubtedly, there are a number of role models among the people whom I just described who are watching this graduation ceremony from the stands. So, I'm going to ask, what exactly makes a role model a role model? Don't worry, I didn't look it up in Webster's dictionary. Is it the countless hours sacrificed for the benefit of others? How about the early mornings going off to work in order to provide for one's family? It might be the running around, dropping one kid off at practice, only to go and pick another one up. Maybe it's the fact that we can become so grateful for the actions taken by these role models that we forget what we would do without them. So, to the role models out there, thank you. You certainly know who you are. Thank you for being there for us. Thank you for showing us how to better ourselves. And thank you for pushing us to be the best versions of ourselves. Growing up, I always wanted to follow in the footsteps of my sister and my older brothers. This included swimming on the best summer swim team at Park Swim Club, playing them in NBA Live 2003 on the GameCube, watching Survivor Man, and countless other oddities. However, what was seemingly most important in establishing my own identity while still honoring the Kromka family tradition was the fact that I played basketball. So, following their lead, I started to play basketball in 3rd grade at St. Bernadette. Of course, our team started with the basics, dribbling with our head up, shooting layups, and learning how to play defense. At the time, I thought we would just be learning how to play basketball. Little did I know that the coach would have team rules. And never could I have imagined that I would still remember these rules 9 years later, trying my best to live by them. Our team's first rule: when the coach is talking, everybody listens. To a rowdy group of third graders, you can imagine that this was a difficult task. We know, we were all there. It's hard to stay focused when there is a ball in your hand. Our coach taught us to not entertain the thought of spinning a ball on a finger while he was talking. Otherwise, there would be consequences. Our team quickly found out that paying close attention to instructions the first time was far better than running. We found out that by listening, it didn't just mean that we were quiet. It meant that we held the ball in our hip and looked the coach in his eyes. In addition to this, the coach told us that he would do the same for us when we would talk to him. This first rule taught us how to respect one another, and we realized that others would not respect us if we did not respect them first. Our team's second rule: if a teammate is open, pass him the ball. Well, yeah, no kidding. If someone else was open, we were going to pass him the ball. But again, there's more to it than that. We realized that in order to succeed as a team, we first had to come together as a team, thinking, acting, and playing as one unit. This showed us that it didn't matter who scored, just as long as the team was better off. We were able to be happy for one another when a teammate scored, which was always more important than scoring for ourselves. From this rule, I learned how to recognize and appreciate someone else's success, even if it was amidst my own failure. Our team's third and final rule: teammates always build each other up, they never tear each other down. When a teammate is down, no one knows him better than his own teammates. Even something that may not seem very significant might make a world of difference. There's too much going on in this world to not be able to count on one's teammates. Guys and girls, even though they weren't there at the time, don't overthink this one. Build each other up, don't tear each other down. Looking back upon those 3 lessons, I've realized what a role model really is. A role model is someone who impacts your life so positively by instilling values in your heart. And no matter where this life takes you, you will keep those values with you, and you will spend each day trying to live by them. So, this is my last thank you to my dad for being my 3rd grade coach and my role model. Finally, good luck to my fellow graduates. I implore you to be the role models for the next generation, and may your hats fly as high as your dreams. Thank you.
The success of the class of 2018 is highlighted by 15 academically talented seniors who will graduate with distinguished honors. Each of these highly competitive students has achieved a 4-year cumulative grade point average of a 4.0 or higher. We are very proud of these students and commend them for their hard work and dedication in the pursuit of academic excellence. Liz Temple will have the honor of representing these students. Liz, who is ranked number 1 in her graduating class with a final grade point average of a 4.4 during her senior year, Liz not only excelled in the classroom, but she was also extremely involved in numerous extracurricular activities, such as the Gateway High School Marching Band, the Junior Classical League, and the Mock Trial Team. Liz also served as president of the Gateway Marching Band and Science Club during her senior year. Liz's list of accomplishments during her high school career are extensive and impressive as her academic record. Liz has earned AP Scholar recognition, National Merit Commended Scholar recognition, and has been awarded a National Merit Partial Scholarship for her academic excellence. Liz's future plans are to attend the University of Pittsburgh to major in biology with a minor in neuroscience. Her long-term goal is to become a physician with a specialization in either oncology or surgery. Gateway High School is very proud of Liz and all of her accomplishments during her esteemed academic career. At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the valedictorian of the class of 2018, Liz Temple.
Good evening, families, administrators, counselors, teachers, and graduating members of the class of 2018. As Mr. Murphy said, my name is Liz Temple, and it is my absolute honor to stand before you today as the Valedictorian of Gateway High School. I would first like to congratulate my fellow graduates. We made it. Moreover, I would like to give special thanks to all of the families and teachers for everything you've done for the students on this field. And I would specifically like to thank my parents, Emmanuel and Anne, for all of their support and everything that they have provided me with over the past 17 years, 11 months, and 13 days. I couldn't have done this without you. To the class of 2018, we should be unbelievably proud of what we have accomplished. We waited 13 years for this day to finally arrive. When we were in elementary school, high school graduation seemed like it was the final goal, so far distant in the future, and now that we're here, we're beginning to realize that it's merely a checkpoint in our lives. We can all recount our first memories of school as bright-eyed children who are essentially carefree and optimistic. Quite a bit has changed since then, especially that carefree part. And now that we're here, we're seniors who are about to graduate and move on to bigger and better things. Before we take that next step, though, take a minute to recall your first time stepping into the halls of GHS. For most of us, that was our freshman year. We had all heard of the horror stories of high school, and we stressed about if our friends from middle school would be in our classes, or if we would be able to figure out how to navigate the illogical hallway numbering system that seemed to almost taunt us from our maps on the first day. However, we quickly adapted to that new chapter of our lives, and we soon made lasting memories at a Gateway that we know we'll never forget. We've been through a lot together as a class that has already tested our strength and resilience. A presidential election, a Summer Olympics, a solar eclipse, several natural disasters, and a series of Snapchat updates. The same strength and resilience did not occur by mistake, as we have also learned quite a bit throughout these 4 years. We discovered that you should always wear multiple layers because you never know if it's going to be 40 degrees or 90 degrees, depending on which room you're in. We also found that Mr. Wallace's multicolored wraparound timelines are the pinnacle of public education. And most importantly, you are allowed to go down the up stairwell. In all seriousness, however, we have been provided with an unparalleled education that will supplement us in whatever we choose to do as we move forward in our lives. Now I'm going to do that cheesy thing that everyone says at a graduation. Look to the person sitting on your left and right. We may not realize it, but we have each shaped and influenced the lives of each of these individuals. We are looking at future engineers, musicians, lawyers, nurses, officers, and electricians that will most definitely change the world for the better. As we look towards our futures, whether it be to pursue a degree in college, to seek a profession in trade school, to join the military, or to enter the workforce, reflect on the experiences and memories that you made here at Gateway. The skills and personality traits that we have developed throughout high school have molded us into the incredibly brilliant young individuals who we are today. The most important thing that I will remember about the class of 2018 is our passion. We are a group of extremely driven individuals who strive to achieve our goals at any lengths necessary. I know that it is not always easy, for there will always be roadblocks and disappointments, and things may not turn out how we may hope. But I am certain that our perseverance will carry us over these obstacles and shortcomings to allow us to excel in whatever we put our minds to. Tomorrow, our memories will not be based solely on what our grades were, who we went to the dance with, or what clubs we were a part of. What will truly matter is the impact that we have made on others, so we must leave an authentic legacy as we move forward by choosing to instill our actions with compassion and consideration. Throughout my 4 years at Gateway, I have made lifelong friends and learned more than I ever believed I would. And now that our time at GHS has almost come to a close, I have realized that learning is something that knows no boundaries, for it can occur anywhere, even in the unlikeliest of places. To quote my favorite movie, The Iron Giant, which is a cinematic masterpiece, by the way, and you should all watch it immediately, you are who you choose to be. I truly believe that nothing is impossible for us, as long as we never allow anyone to trivialize our dreams. Instead, we must blaze our own trails. We have been supplied with the opportunity to excel in whatever we choose, and it's up to us to make and take the next step. Our years at Gateway have taught us to make the wisest choice, and they have prepared us to understand that after tonight, no one can determine where our individual lives will lead except for us. With that being said, I sincerely wish you all the best in your future goals, and I can't wait to see all the incredible choices that we will make in future years to come. Congratulations, class of 2018.
At this time, it is my pleasure to introduce the following individuals who are also seated on the speaker's platform. Behind me, Superintendent of Schools, Dr. William Short. Assistant Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Dennis Chakey. Assistant Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Guy Rossi. Senior Class Counselor, Dr. David Hefner. Senior Class Advisor, Mrs. Tina Hirschberger. Junior Class Advisor, Mr. Phil Randolph. I would also like to acknowledge members of the Gateway School District Board of Directors. Not here this evening, Mr. Scott Williams, President. Miss Mary Beth Cerrucci, Vice President. Mr. John Bova. Mr. Brian Gottman. Dr. Jesse Kalkstein. Mr. George Lapsevich. Mr. Richard McIntyre. Mr. John Ritter. And Mrs. Valerie Warning. We are also very pleased to have members of the Gateway Central Office staff and grade K-8 principals in attendance at our commencement exercises. Seated on the field across from me this evening, our Director of Special Education, Mrs. Heather Bungard. Business Manager, Mr. Paul Schott. Human Resource Director, Mrs. Patricia Crump. School Psychologist, Mrs. Monica Griffith. Supervisor of Special Education, Miss Susan Asti. Director of Transportation and School Board Secretary, Mrs. Bonnie Isha. The Principal of Dr. Cleveland Stewart Jr. Elementary School, Mr. Michael Jack. The Principal of Evergreen Elementary School, Mr. Michael Mateo. The Principal of Ramsey Elementary School, Mr. Joe DiLuceni. The Principal of University Park Elementary School, Miss Jennifer Hoffner. Principal of Mosside Middle School, Mr. Eric Knorr. Assistant Principal of Mosside Middle School, Mr. Mike Barlak. The Principal of Gateway Middle School, Mr. Rocco Telly. Assistant Principal of Gateway Middle School, Mrs. Melissa Cheslock. Assistant Principal, Gateway High School, grades 9 and 11, Dr. John Fournier. Principal of New Story School, Miss Denise Rhetoric. And finally, Assistant Principal of Gateway High School, grades 10 and the senior class, Principal Mr. Adam Narsborough. We thank you all for accepting our invitation to join us at this special event and for your contributions in preparing the class of 2018 for their successes at the high school and into the future. To the members of the class of 2018, the earning of your high school diploma marks the completion of your formal public school education. It is the hope of the Board of School Directors and all of your K-12 teachers and administrators that the education you received in the Gateway School District will provide the foundation upon which you will build a very successful and rewarding future. At this time, I would like to introduce Mr. Lassick and the Gateway Choir to perform a beautiful selection. It is with great pleasure and pride that I present the class of 2018 to our Superintendent of Schools, Dr. William Short, as having successfully fulfilled all state and school district academic requirements for graduation from Gateway High School. At this time, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce Dr. William Short.
Thank you, Mr. Murphy. Tough act to follow. Young woman, men, you did a tremendous job. Very nice. Good evening, parents, grandparents, friends, and relatives of the graduating class of 2018. These nearly 300 graduates have all of you to thank for the countless hours of support and patience that helped stage this wonderful accomplishment tonight. No graduate sitting before us gets to this moment alone. Can I ask our graduates to stand and acknowledge those in attendance tonight with a round of applause, thanking your parents and guardians. You may be seated. To our graduates, congratulations on reaching this incredible milestone in your academic career. As a class, your foundation has been laid. Your legacy will live on. U.S. News and World Report validated this with recognizing Gateway High School as one of the top high schools in the country with a silver medal award, outdoing the class of 2017 that won the bronze medal. This collective accomplishment will stand forever and be recognized by a new seal to be placed on a facade of Gateway High School. These achievements are meaningful and add to the illustrious list the Gateway has been recognized for in the past. The United States Blue Ribbon Award from 1998, the annual Pittsburgh Business Times Top 20 ranking in Western Pennsylvania, Niche.com A-grade rating for our high school are just a few awards that this group of young men and women have lived up to within the 60 years of existence for Gateway High School. As I sat back this weekend and reflected upon this upcoming day, I was immersed in a CNN documentary entitled 1968. As a former social studies teacher, I could not help but to identify a few parallels between 2018 and 1968 that our young people are encountering. A recent copy of the Smithsonian magazine called 1968, The Year That Shattered America, and explained that movements that have been building along the primary fault lines of the 60s, the Vietnam War, the Cold War, civil rights movement, and youth protest, these all exploded with force. The assassinations of Dr. Martin Luther King and presidential candidate Robert Kennedy led to the student protest in high schools demanding answers from their loss of hope. 50 years ago, Gateway's graduating students sat in these very same seats that all of you do today. As incredible as the sadness 1968 was, both the graduates of 68 and 18 face comparable challenges moving forward. 2018 saw a protest on our campuses. Students rising up throughout the country against the heinous weekly shootings at our schools. Students, for the first time in decades, demanded they be heard and would not remain silent. Likewise, the heightened awareness of political discord between red and blue has brought a renewed spirit of government and politics not seen since the 60s. And I have no doubt it will shape this country in the future, where you see history has a way of repeating itself, as we all have been told. And as a country, we will rely upon the help of our graduates in finding solutions to the problems that face us today. I have no doubt our future is in good hands. Graduates, all of you are on equal footing today. Your diploma from Gateway High School is a gateway to beginning the next verse in your life. You enter this phase that some would call a challenge, but I prefer to see it as an opportunity. For no generation has more opportunity to dramatically alter this world than yours. Endless breakthroughs and technological advances change at warp speed compared to your predecessors from 1968. The amount of technology used to put a man on the moon in 1969 does not quite equal the iPhone or the Android that I know you're itching to pull out of your pocket right now. Snapchat, Instagram, and probably 10 other things. This concept is scary to some, but for others, it's progress that can help make this world a better place. To our graduates, become a difference maker. Do not settle for the status quo. Challenge yourself at every path you take. Hurdles will need to be jumped, but recall this day as evidence you can do it. Always remember your roots, for Gateway graduates carry with them a reassurance that their high school education more than prepares them for any opportunities that lie ahead. And always remember, and you've heard this daily, no one beats a Gator. With that said, I will now turn the proceedings over to Mr. Murphy and his staff for the confirmation and issuing of diplomas. Thank you and best wishes.
Ladies and gentlemen, would you please stand and join Alyssa Travisano and the senior class in the singing of the Gateway High School alma mater. At this time, we will begin the confirming of diplomas. This evening, Dr. Short will present the diplomas to the graduating seniors, and he will be assisted by Senior Class Counselor Dr. David Hebner and Senior Class Advisor Mrs. Tina Hirschberg. Gateway High School Assistant Principal Mr. Adam Norrisborough will conduct the senior roll call with the assistance of our junior marshals, Zoe Abel, Jenna Bean, Kyle Russell, and Alpita Uduba.
Come on, Tom. Tyler Adams.
Jasmine Adote.
Jasmine Adote.
Salvatore Aiello.
Salvatore Aiello.
Shane Aiken.
Shane Aitken. Presenting his diploma, school board member George Lapsevich. John Akey. Devon Allensworth.
Alea Arrington.
Alea Arrington.
Zachary Bajay.
Zachary Bajay.
Carl Bailey.
Carl Bailey.
Carice Banks.
Carice Banks.
Raquel Banks.
Raquel Banks. Zachary Boffman. Dylan Baxter. Alyssa Belay. Justin Bergoff. Alexander Blake. Jasmine Booker. Tasia Booker. Mark Bozovic. Dominique Brown. Haley Brown. Jacob Brundrett. Braden Bukowski. Riley Bolger. Whitney Burke. Rose Buzzy. Brandon Kane. Kalia Calloway. Melanie Cambridge. Isaiah Cameron. Madison Camuso. Dylan Cassidy. Christiana Cates. Daniel Chang. VJ Charapali. Stephen Chirilla. Desiree Sinkin. Kanan Cleveland. Peyton Communell. Julie Conley. Julia Conway. Jacob Cotter. Haley Craig. Daniel Cranston. Taylor Daggett. Patrick Dong. Hope Decker. Elena Demchek. Jordan Dentino. Christopher Dick. Jillian DeLacente. Luke DePalma. Larissa DiPiazza. Ryan Dodson.
Aaron Douglas. Jalil Drake. Kassan Edwards. Jordan Edwards, presented by School Board Member Valerie Warning. Zaina Edwards. Rebecca Elms. Emily Iziagu. Jessica Falvo. Mia Farley. Armand Fatahi. Kevin Figueroa Kinoes. Alex Frank. Mariah Frazier. Nicholas Fucci. Sarah Fucci. Bennett Galia. Haley Gardner. Nashelle Gates. Jonathan Janutis. Delaney Gerhardt. Kayla Germain. Adam Gerstacker. Joshua Goodwin. Leo Gratton. Haley Goot. Alexis Guy. Mila Haidu. Aliza Hamid. Quinton Marquise Cashmere Hamilton. Zion Harper. Megan Hellman. Abby Herman. Morgan Ha. Michael Holmes. Rayonce Howard. Timar Howard. Victoria Huff. Samantha Hunter. Juante Hutcherson. Salvatore Iovino III. Robert Jackson. Jolie Jessup. Keyshawn Johnson. Joseph Kalinowski. Deshaun Karras. Connor Kelly. Umida Kakamova. Jakonger Kochmahomadov. Brad Kinter. Juliet Kisalida. Aaron Kitchener. Benjamin Klein. Anastasia Klippa. Austin Kosis. Gunnar McElfresh. Caroline Kranick. Taylor Kraus. Max Krieger. John Paul Kromka, Sierra Laspada, Christina Laver, Caden Lawhorn Watson, Cody Lee, Angela Lehman, Caleb Lehman, Danae Lewis, Daniel Lee, Ebru Leiter, Ellie Lindner, Gianna Lionelli, Tony Lloyd, Michael Masich, David McMurchie, Kayla Mays, Eric McCarrison, Jasmine McDonald, Shayna McKinney, Cyan McLaughlin, Lauren McWilliams, Jacob Mears, Nathan McGann, Nasiah Melendez, Samuel Mishenko, Emily Metro, Pranav Mede Ramkumar, Olivia Miller, Holly Minnick, Loren Miner, Maya Montalbano, Mark Montalbano, Marissa Montalbano, Ashley Monteleone, Cameron Moore, Casey Masowski, Zach Mall, Irena Murphy, Demetrius Murrell, Thomas Obusick, Gabrielle Oglesby, Tyler O'Leary, Jillian Olson, Tyler O'Toole, Ryan Parsley, Asher Pasalinqua, Dylan Pierce, Nathan Piper, Caitlin Piver, Savannah Plaskin, Shakira Polite, Shane Poole, Jonathan Porter, E. Portis, Victoria Portogallo, Adina Rash, Kaylee Rakowitz, Haley Danielle Reed, Joseph Brian Reed, William Wren, AJ Repko, Cody Repko, Martin Renner, presented by School Board Member John Ritter. Julia Ritzel. Juliana Roble. Lauren Rogers. Angela Romito. Danielle Romito. Ryan Roney. Raymond Rowe. Cameron Rozier. Brendan Russell. Jazdeep Saddam. Zainab Salim. Amanda Sawyers. Alexandra Schrank. Trinell Scott Jr. Lucas Seibel. Courtney Seneca. Colin Shevlin. Hannah Shiflett Lurch. Christopher Silka. Nathaniel Slaughter. Michael Smeltzer. Chrysaeus Smith. Samantha Smith. Kylie Snyder. Zephaniah Snooks. Nicholas Snyder. Christian Sostre. Justin Stankovic. Anna Steen. Mira Steen. Zachary Storch. Amanda Stroh. Zaina Swahel. Micah Simons. Robert Zakowski. Danielle Taylor. Matthew Tepke. Evelyn Terrell. Jacob Terzak. Autumn Timmons. Tyler Thomas. Jillian Thompson. Nia Thompson. Travis Thompson II. Claire Thorson. Liz Temple. Taylor Tommen. Tyrone Tommen. Alyssa Travisano. Cassie Tricula. Balaji Umashankar. Michael Voynick. Hannah Varenka. Brady Walker. Presenting his diploma, school board members Valerie Warning and George Lapsevich. Chloe Walls. Presenting her diploma, school board member George Lapsevich. Paul Warchel. Nathan Ward. Genevieve Ware. Brittany Wateska. Casey Webster. Carrie Webster. Elizabeth Werner. Paul Wielden IV. McKenna Whiteside. Owen Wiesner. Alacia Williams. Aloysius Williams. Dale Williams. Micaiah Williams. Victoria Williams. Merrill Waratmo. Justin Works. Karen Yang. Mustafa Zahid. Nashida Zaheen. Adam Zinza. Trinity Zola. Nicole Rossetti. Austin Vogel.
Class, if you could please direct your attention to Mr. Stakunis. Would the parents of the graduates please stand for a very well-deserved round of applause? Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the graduated class of 2018. One more round of applause. Moment I've been waiting for. It's my pleasure to say the two most important words of the evening. Class dismissed. Thank you all.